What's up, my fearless friends? Shayshahn PhearNone MacPherson here with another Gear and Gadgets. And today, the gadget is a big gadget, the Tesla Model Y. I'm gonna tell you why I like it and some things I don't like about it. Let's get into it. What's up, my fearless friends? This is Shayshahn PhearNone MacPherson, back with the Gear and Gadgets on location. Today I'm driving the Model Y 2020 from Tesla Motors. It's an amazing car, and it's really like a gadget. That's the only reason why I mention it on the show today. The first thing I have to get used to is when you take your foot off the acceleration, the car brakes. Very interesting, very responsive, minimalistic, and so far I like it. So far, so good.
Mood change, 2 trains today. No Benz, no Bentley, no planes. Black hood, onyx boots, pinky ring. Fresh to death, hard case, strings and things. No tax.
One of the important things with Gear and Gadgets is being able to move your Gear and Gadgets. And that happens in this very big trunk for a small Model Y. It never really feels cramped inside, and I actually kind of like it. I thought I would only like the Model X and the Model S, but I think I could fit a couple of QSCs, a DJ deck, a table, poles, stands, microphone stands, you know, all the gear and gadgets we need to be mobile DJs out here in New York City. I really like it. Looks like no gas or oil for me.
Not every man can maneuver in the fast lane. What?
And another thing that we love is the beloved frunk. You also have some space in the front because there's no engine, as we all know.
Minor chords designed for diminished ways. Music for free or make a bunch of new slaves. Tell your boy to prepare for a new wave. My music plus high music like Juve. A musician isn't.
So I wanted to take you through the process of actually ordering a Model Y, because it's not like your conventional car dealership. So let's go through this. So you can get a long range or performance. The performance makes the car faster, gives it some more sporty features, and but the distance isn't as long. So I would go for more range, especially the way the EV infrastructure is right now. So the long range is 43.6. It's on black because I had selected black already. But if you want to save money, I guess we could go with the white and leave the normal wheels. Any extras, each color right here is $1,000 extra. If you get the red, it's $2,000 extra. And it's $2,000 extra to raise the tires to 20-inch. I like the way this looks, but let's keep it economical right now. You also can add a tow hitch, which pulls up to 3,500 pounds of weight. This is the seat interior. I would probably leave the seat interior black because that white just looks like a nightmare to keep clean. You also can add 2 extra seats in the back. That shows you how big the actual trunk is. That they think you can add 2 people back there. I wouldn't get that because I want that space for my gear and gadgets, but it's good to know that it's there. And oh boy, the autopilot. This option is $10,000. I don't think I will be doing that, but that's one of the features that people come to expect with this electric car from Tesla. But it does cost $10,000, pushing the car up into another bracket. I'm going to skip that one. And let's say we do a lease with tier 1 credit. And I hate when they do this because they show you what your savings would be, but there's a lot of factors on those savings: the state you're in, the taxes, your credit. This is more realistic, paying just under $500 a month. So that's one thing to keep in mind for this Tesla Model Y with basic features. The cheapest paint, and no real options added. So that's something to definitely keep in mind. So overall, I really like this car. The Tesla Model Y. It's like a, SUV version of the Model 3. Way more trunk space, which I really, really like, and you can add the 7 seats. It's a decent looking car too. Some people don't like it. They call it Humpty Dumpty because the car looks a little bit smashed in. But I liked it, especially when I saw it in person. So I would go, test drive one and see what it looks like in person before you make your final judgment. That $10,000 autopilot is something to definitely keep in mind. I would stay away from the white inside unless you really believe you can keep that clean for a 3-year lease. These are some of the specs on the long range and the performance vehicles. So after being in the car for about a half hour, the question is, do you order a Tesla Model Y? Here are some of the pros to that. The car has great pickup and it's very fast. I like the all-wheel drive, especially when you're not, when you're in the climate that can snow in the winter. That really helps also with the speed of the car. The back, actually the whole car feels way more roomy. I really like that, along with the minimalistic, dash. The car seems like it has way more room. When you look at it right here, it looks like it might be like a small Volkswagen. But actually, when you get in the car, it's very roomy. One of the reasons it might be roomy is probably because of that panel sunroof. It takes the whole car. So that, it gives you a feeling of room. Another pro is that President Biden, since he's been elected, he's been talking about maybe re-adding or giving us back the EV tax credit, which would be very welcomed. And I hear a lot of people saying they want it at point of sale instead of a tax credit, but that remains to be seen. And overall, EV cars are just better for the environment. That's the reason why I was really looking into it. Also, the idea of never having to pay for gas or oil. But one thing to keep in mind, they're still going to get you to pay for something in the long run, and I'll get into that. Here are some of the cons. I really didn't like that they had a small rear view mirror, like smaller than usual. And to add with that small rear view mirror, they had a small back window in general. I mean, the window looks big from the outside, but when you're driving, if a car is like within 2 feet of you, you can't see that car's headlights. I noticed that when I was driving. There's a lot of cameras all around the car that will help you with parking and stuff like that. But I don't know. For me, I like to know how close the car behind me is. And in this particular Model Y, it was hard to see when the car is very close to you. Just one of my pet peeves. I also didn't like that it was an automatic button to open the door from the inside. The reason why I don't like that, I'm thinking if you got into an accident or, God forbid, the car like got stuck somehow in a ditch or turned over or something like that, or if the electricity goes out in the car, it's a button to open it. So you couldn't use that button if something went wrong with the electricity in the car. I believe the car has like an emergency open door on the bottom, but it's not up at your hand. So you would have to have the wherewithal to go reach to open the door without the button. Speaking of handles, the door handles on this Model Y are not like the Model S. The Model S, when you walk up to it, the doors just open automatically when you have the key. These are a manual, kind of like you got to put your hand into the door to open it. And I showed some examples of that while I was in the car. Another thing, it has a great sunroof, but you can't open the sunroof. So although it looks beautiful when you're inside of it, sometimes when I'm driving, I like to crack the sunroof and get, some air coming in, or maybe leave your windows up and just open the sunroof. You can't do that. Can't do that in this car. And, I just feel that $10,000 for the autopilot is crazy. The autopilot is getting better, and I've seen people just sit there and watch the car drive them to their locations. They're supposed to have something for the city areas soon, where you can just sit there and let the car drive you, but that technology is not fully vetted, and I feel like they're doing a beta on the public with that one. Another con for me is that there's a young EV infrastructure, meaning there's only 2 places where I could charge near me. I live in an apartment building, and our garages don't have EV charging yet. So I would have to go to a mall that charges $3 to get in, and then they also charge you, less than gas, but they still charge you to get the electricity. So that's something to keep in mind. You would really have to be ready to change your daily routines. There's no like last minute getting in the car. Oh, I gotta run. Oh, look, I have low gas. Let me just run to the gas station. You have to really plan out your life once you get an EV car, unless you have a house where you're charging in your house and your job has a charger as well. So it's something to keep in mind. There's just not enough EV charging stations. That being said, there's things like Blink, which is a company that just focuses on charging. And there's several other companies that only focus on charging, and they're starting to spread out. But the infrastructure is still young to charge your EV, and that's something to keep in mind. So the biggest question, would I actually get this Tesla Model Y? Well, I'm thinking about it. I really, really want to get it. It fits all my gear and gadgets, and it's electric. It's better for the environment. I know some people say, well, wherever you're getting your electricity from could still pollute, but I would feel better that I'm not polluting directly from my car. There's no emissions. You can sit in your garage, or you can sit somewhere and let the car run, and it's not killing the environment directly. Some cars that are equivalent to the Model Y, just as far as size and style, like a Mercedes GLA or GLB. Cars like that are very similar and actually can cost a little bit less than your lease price, albeit that they're gas cars. If you don't have the infrastructure around your area, you might want to stay with a gas car for just a couple of more years. If you're in the market for a car, it's a tough choice right now. Either you can get the car and hopefully within your lease of 36 months, EV infrastructure will get better, or you just get a gas car and wait your lease out for 36 months and then get an EV. I'm on the fence for it right now, and it's going to be a tough choice. But I would suggest it, especially if you have a home or if you have a charging plan for your car, meaning you're going to charge it at work, you drive a certain amount of miles a day, things of that nature. So it really has to get you on a schedule, which I like, but you have to really plan out that schedule well. So thanks for sitting through this Model Y review. I definitely give it a thumbs up for putting all your gear in. You just got to plan out your charging. Don't forget to subscribe. It really helps my channel. Like, and tell me in the comments what else you might want to see, what other type of gears and gadgets. Shayshahn PhearNone MacPherson, out.